It is a common assumption in materialist thought that consciousness simply emerges from complex arrangements of matter, specifically from physical systems like the brain. According to this view, once a system becomes sufficiently complex, a switch is flipped, producing a unified, highly complex experience we call consciousness. However, this explanation leads to more questions than answers and, in many respects, inverts the true order of reality. Instead of viewing consciousness as a byproduct of material interactions, entertain the proposition that consciousness is fundamental and that physical systems, including the brain, emerge from and are shaped by consciousness. In this perspective, intelligence and awareness are not secondary products of matter, but rather the primary ground from which the material world emerges. When we examine phenomena such as the double-slit experiment in quantum mechanics, we observe that the act of measurement, an act of observation, plays a role in manifesting physical reality. This suggests that observation, or awareness, is not merely a passive record of a pre-existing physical state but a fundamental participant in shaping what we experience as reality. Materialist approaches have long attempted to decompose our three-dimensional time-space reality into ever smaller constituent parts in the hope of explaining its origins and complexities. However, no matter how detailed these analyses become, they repeatedly run into a conceptual wall when it comes to explaining the phenomenon of awareness. The very idea that a collection of neurons and synapses can suddenly coalesce into a singular, unified conscious experience is problematic under strict materialist assumptions. There is an explanatory gap. The mechanisms that produce the brain's structure do not account for the intrinsic quality of subjective experience. Furthermore, reducing consciousness to mere brain activity neglects evidence from quantum mechanics suggesting that observation influences reality. For instance, the double-slit experiment indicates that particles behave differently when observed. This is not to claim that unobserved phenomena do not exist in some latent form, but that their definitive manifestation, a phase lock, so to speak, requires an act of measurement, a clear demonstration of the interplay between consciousness and the material. When we consider that physical systems might emerge from consciousness rather than the other way around, several profound implications arise. First, the nature of observation. The process of measurement in quantum mechanics demonstrates that awareness can affect the manifestation of physical states. This suggests that our understanding of reality must account for the active role of consciousness in bringing material phenomena into being. Second, the unity of consciousness. The unified, multifaceted experience of consciousness cannot be readily explained as an accidental byproduct of numerous independent neural processes. Instead, it may be more coherently understood as an inherent aspect of a more fundamental awareness, from which the brain, for example, and the entire material world, is derived. Third, the implications for evolution and entropy. If consciousness is fundamental, then the evolution of physical systems might be seen as a process driven by the dynamics of awareness. In this view, the material world represents a manifestation of a broader, evolving consciousness that seeks states of lower entropy and greater unity. This evolution is not just a physical process but an expression of an underlying drive toward harmony and interconnectedness. Fourth, implications around freedom, peace, and love. Recognizing consciousness as the primary substance of reality opens the door to a broader sense of freedom and peace. By understanding that all material phenomena, including the brain, are emergent images or forms within consciousness, we can appreciate that our true nature is not limited by physicality. In this light, love, and oneness become the natural evolutionary goals, states in which the division between self and other dissolves, and where harmony is not an accident of biology but a fundamental property of consciousness itself. The materialist approach, with its focus on dissecting the physical into ever smaller parts, has provided valuable insights into the structure of our world. However, it ultimately falls short of explaining the nature of consciousness. The evidence from quantum mechanics, coupled with the intrinsic quality of subjective experience, points to a reality in which consciousness is not an emergent byproduct of matter but its very source. Embracing this perspective invites us to reframe our understanding of existence, recognizing that the material world is a manifestation of a deeper, more unified awareness, one that holds the key to unlocking greater freedom, peace, and ultimately, a profound sense of interconnectedness.